This Sunday night, quite possibly the greatest build matchup in professional wrestling history is set to chew bubblegum and kick some ass. And they're all out of bubblegum. This Sunday night, quite possibly the greatest pure wrestler in history is set to face one of his most extreme challenges. And come this Sunday night, we may not be ready, but we're here to ensure you understand how we got here. That's right, you're watching Blind Tag Wrestling, AEW Revolution, how we got here.
We're doing the snap.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, I'm John.
I'm Raja.
And we got all kinds of stuff to get into on this.
Oh, man.
Incredible pay-per-view.
Oh,
This event, this giant chasm of a rasm. I mean, this thing.
It's insane.
This
it's completely sacked.
in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
So this is our preview show, letting you know how we got from point A to point B and everything you need to know leading up to all these fabulous matches that we're going to get to see this Sunday night. And I'm so excited for the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait.
Me too. Me too. They should call this something to do with wrestling and Mania. I mean, it's a big deal.
We're all manic over here.
I mean, every single match. You hear these things sometimes through wrestling history and the annals of wrestling history.
Okay.
You hear this comments like, every match could be a main event. And normally when you hear that, it's like someone coming up to you and going, I would never do that. I'm a Christian. You know, it's like, and it's one of those things where this one really, really could be,
my God,
a main event.
There's like no slowdown at all.
I can't even imagine.
Can't take any breaths.
I can't even imagine what's going to happen to people's star scales. Listen,
it's going to be ridiculous.
You could have a stinker and still have 10 bangers.
Yeah.
You could have half of these matches could reach half of their potential. And you could still have the greatest card of all time.
Pretty much.
It's insane. What do we got?
All right, so we're going to start with the pre-show. We have 2 buy-in matches this year. 2.
2.
2. So.
That's an A, by the way. You claimed.
Everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Everybody. Well, everybody hasn't been rapped about, probably.
Yeah, that's true. I want him to rap about me. All right. So our first buy-in match is Chris Statlander versus Layla Hirsch.
Yes.
All right. So these two have been at each other for a couple of months.
Statlander.
Oh, man.
Is she
the good guy here?
She got something against short people?
I have no idea. These tensions have been rising as...
Is she Ukrainian?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But Chris and Layla, they had a match a while back, and Chris tried to shake her hand after, a little friendly competition, but Layla's like, nope, I don't want any of that. And then she started, tagging herself in on matches and getting rolled up because she did that. And then all of a sudden, she's attacking people.
Yeah.
In the back. Red Velvet and Chris Statlander just getting attacked all the time. And finally, I guess Chris is like, this is enough. And she said, I don't blame your parents for giving you up if you act. This is how you act. That's not something the good guy says, I don't think.
I want to sign her.
Oh, no.
I love it.
No.
Pat McAfee will love it too. Ah!
And it was so crazy. I remember we heard it. We were like, what did she just say?
We turned the television on pause and looked at each other and was like, what the hell just happened? The sweetest girl, this girl is Chris Statlander is the I'll help you with your homework. Yeah. I mean, that's,
she's so nice.
She's
and bubbly.
She's the awkwardly bigger girl. Not big like
tall.
Yeah, not big like she's got a good personality big.
Right.
Big like she'll whip your ass big.
Yes, exactly.
And she's always that type, that comes off sweet and everybody's big friend,
I guess as long as you don't attack her friends and her,
I don't know, man.
Where did this come from?
She's got Layla heat. Dude, how that didn't just turn Layla babyface?
I don't know. It kind of did a little, I think.
I mean, I don't know. We're going to find out.
Which way does this go?
The big crowd, you know.
Oh, yeah, it'll be interesting.
They're going to be razzmatazz because it's going to be on early.
Yeah.
So the crowd's still going to be up. I predict on this one, my prediction is a short match. I think a dominant Statlander victory, personally.
Well, Chris is kind of the upper echelon, the women's division. But
so, I mean, what do you think? I mean, it could go, I mean, you could have the big Layla.
It would be quite shocking if Layla Hirsch pulled out this win. I think it would be an upset if Layla Hirsch won.
What if Chris went like full heel?
Yeah, full Scorpio.
Yeah. I mean, we could have a Danhausen curse.
With the best friends and everything. They're baby faces.
Yeah. Listen, the Russian's not going to win.
No. Unless she finally joined Team Taz and they come help. I don't think so. So our second buy-in match, we're sending Hook.
Oh, man.
He and QT Marshall are finally going at it. So
actually, the build you didn't know was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good build, actually.
Of course, Hook debuted in December after a year on television.
It's hard to believe that was his debut.
He's had 5 matches.
Yeah.
5. That's it. There was Aaron Solo, Bear Bronson, and Serpentico, Fuego del Sol. And finally, he's going to face QT Marshall, who wants to take all this credit. Marshall, sorry. But he takes credit for creating Hook. He was like, it wasn't Taz. It wasn't anybody else. It was me. I created the cold-hearted, handsome devil myself. And Hook just isn't having any of that.
Yeah. I mean, of course he's not right. I mean, right?
Right.
It's a lifetime. That's taken a lifetime to cook up that cool.
Yeah, true.
I mean, who doesn't just love Hook right off the bat? And at first, something that seemed like it might have been a joke when CM Punk called him out and said to send Hook line.
Yeah.
You know,
it was like, oh, very funny.
It's funny, like,
it took off.
I want CM Punk to make fun of me, please.
Send Hook became a phenomenon.
Yeah, because it worked like this whole weird, you know how the internet is.
Yeah.
It
went viral.
Things happen, but then what happens when things like that happen is you have to live up to it.
And let me tell you, buddy.
You have to be able to strap on them boots real tight. You have to go out there. And the cool thing that Hook has been able to rely on is not the fact of, oh, God, I hope I don't slip off the top rope on my debut and break my neck and look like a pansy. Because he's a mat-based mother.
Yeah.
He's
insanely talented.
For his age, he's got a control and a ring prowess that you usually don't find until much later on in someone's career. He's comfortable in his own skin. He's comfortable within that ring.
Yeah.
And he knows what he can do and what he can't do. He seems like he doesn't ever go for anything that's going to expose any limitations.
Right.
So he plays to his strengths, man. I'm telling you that this kid's a star.
He really is.
And he actually, it's more than just a flash. Because when I see this guy go at it, I'm excited. Like when I know there's going to be a match.
If you're sending Hook, we're ready.
Yeah, man, because that's my style of wrestling. I love that. So yeah,
I can't tell you how many years I have heard about the Kata Hajime. just waiting. Finally, here we are.
I was pretty excited about that. I just wish they still called it that, but it's okay. We made Hook, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to put Hook over strong here, right?
Can you imagine?
It might be his longest match to date that he's had. It might be a little more challenging.
I hope not.
Than the others.
I hope it's a minute.
I think he's gonna win. He has to. You can't defeat him this early. And it can't be QT.
Well, they need to set up a new story out of this. So something needs to happen in this match.
Right.
And we have to have a hot, you know what, just a fan service, something hot to open the pay-per-view.
That would be amazing.
So it's going to go from this to the pay-per-view. one would think, right? So this is 2 of the hottest pre-show matches that we've had on AEW. And they've had a lot of better ones for, going on a year now, pretty much. You go back to the Serena Deeb match
Yeah.
that really set her on fire.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's since that point we've had really, because we started out some raunchy pre-show matches.
But now we pay attention to the pre-show, and it's so good.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's going to be amazing.
what we got for the main card?
So getting into the main card, we're going to start with the Tornado Trios match between Matt Hardy, Andrade, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. And this whole storyline started when Matt Hardy sold 51% of the HFO to Andrade. And of course, Andrade's been trying to get Darby Allin to come work for him for some reason. But basically, they've been going after the TNT title. They've been going after Darby Allin and Sting. And Matt Hardy the whole time has been going kind of crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. And
it really is so much going on.
this has been the only, out of the whole show, this has been the only convoluted storyline.
Oh, it's so weird.
And it's in most anything with the AFHO has been, kind of blah, for the most part. And even some of the matches, just because of the matchups that you get out of that, you've got so much. It's not fair because you could put these AFHO matches on Raw.
Yeah.
And the story, and you would be so thankful there was a story.
Yeah.
that stuck to the story.
But in this company,
there's too many people in this group. I love the groups. I love big groups. I do. But around 5 is a max.
It's become more interesting, I think, since Andrade got involved. Because I don't know if it's like the pressure of proving his group is worthy or what. But Matt Hardy, has been walking out of matches. He's been, threatening people's jobs.
Well, we know what that is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's the story for him.
Erratic behavior.
For him to erratic behavior, Jeff Hardy to, actually go back and have the Hardy Boys, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So we can't see Jeff yet, unfortunately, unless they had some kind of early buyout that we didn't know of, because you never know how these contracts are. They can be lying to us. He could have had a 30-day, and it could have been something, if we say you're drunk and send you home, then it's a 45-day, You never know. I'm not going to sue you if you give it to me early. Whatever. That's where it's headed, obviously. I mean, it's already headed that way on the indies.
Seems pretty obvious.
So it's going to and Jeff gave the worst comeback ever, the worst take back of all time.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I didn't really mean that.
Yeah.
It was.
My contract isn't up, guys. I can't talk to anyone.
Yeah. I've never talked to an in-between, go-between. Who would that even be?
I don't know anyone in that company.
No.
And there's even a tiny underlying storyline here because we don't even know if Sammy's going to be the TNT champion.
Yeah, and that's the whole point I was getting to. I think that the match, as of press time, we didn't know, as we're recording this today, we don't know yet what's happening as of press time tonight on Rampage.
Right.
So it's one of those deals where Sammy may not be champ going into this, but that match to me would have been the Revolution match.
Yeah, that triple threat match could have totally just been on Revolution. Because this could have totally
built to the other match, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I
think it's a much more exciting match than the Tornado Tag.
I personally think this gets Sting on the card.
Yeah, it does. That's
name-wise, if you're a casual fan, you see Sting, you see Matt Hardy, right? And casual fan,
you're like, oh,
I know
these guys.
Am I going to buy this? Maybe that puts you over the top.
Yeah. I could see that.
I mean, you never know. Anyway, this is AEW. This is a tornado match. This has Darby and Sammy in the damn match.
Yes.
Guess what? It's going to rock.
I can only imagine Sting's team is going to win this match.
Poor Isaiah. Because Isaiah is going to be taking some bumps, baby.
Oh, man, is he?
Sting's over on this.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Sting. It's pay-per-view. Sting's over.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Face of the Revolution ladder match. We know 5 of the people that are in it, which is Wardlow, Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh my God.
And either Ethan Page or Christian Cage, because we don't know who wins that match yet.
Cage.
Page versus Cage.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's Ethan Page, personally. And that just comes from his wonderful vlog. And,
it's very enjoyable.
His toy vlog and the fact his name's Julian.
So Of course, whoever wins this match gets the TNT title shot. And there is like some stuff going on right now between Keith Lee and the Team Taz.
Right.
So Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks have it in for Keith Lee. And Keith Lee is just, he's going to be fantastic.
I can't wait. Because this ladder match, Keith Lee and Ricky Starks, my God, some of the moments when you're going to have Hobbs and Lee going at it, Starks doing his thing. Listen, here's another point to this. So if you watch AEW Dark, like some people do, as a religion, Excalibur said during commentary, of course, there'll be 7 people in the ladder match.
He did say that.
He said there will be 7 people in the ladder match.
I was like, did you hear that? Did
and there's more qualifying coming up. So we know of the qualifications that'll get us to 6. Yes. 7's going to be a surprise.
It has to be.
7,
if that's true.
It's a surprise. So I guess Gargano probably.
If that happens, it's just already the best night.
Yeah, I think Johnny Wrestling might be the one that pops in there.
But honestly, if Wardlow doesn't win this match and prove MJF wrong about not being able to win,
Wardlow
not winning the title
storyline, Wardlow has to win this.
You have to give it to him.
And we almost got the turn already, but MJF reminded Wardlow that he doesn't work for AEW. He works for MJF as his bodyguard.
Yeah.
So, if he wants his family not to be on the streets, he'll do exactly what he says. So it's got, he's mentioned that before, but it's been a while. So I kind of like that little caveat put into the story because it makes it a lot more understandable why he has not already turned.
Yeah, because he's dependent on him.
Yeah, he can't.
He did stop Sean Spears from using the chair this time, but I think he's just so ready to blow.
we all can relate to being in that job where you should have the belt already.
Yeah.
But you have to, put up with a boss who doesn't see your worth.
Right.
So I think it's a great story.
Yeah, I absolutely think Wardlow should win this ladder match.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so next we have Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. And this is another one of those that had like a convoluted story heading into it because it actually spawned from Daniel Garcia and 2.0, like interrupting Eddie Kingston, and then they attacked Chris Jericho, and Chris felt the need to get involved because Santana and Ortiz got involved to help Eddie out. And then Eddie planted those seeds in Proud and Powerful's mind. He was like, Chris Jericho's the reason you two are not the tag team champions. So they started thinking about that. And when Eddie got hurt and was gone, we had the whole inner circle blow up thing going on.
Yeah.
And then we finally get the match between Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus Santana and Ortiz. And Eddie Kingston returns. And he tries to get involved in the match. And Chris Jericho attacks him afterwards. And finally, we've arrived.
Yeah, absolutely.
At Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston.
And during this, going, to Dynamite 2 weeks ago, we had one of the greatest, and what a great night that was for promos.
Yeah.
But we had one of the greatest back and forth kind of shoot sessions, like where Jericho, number one, shows up with his washboard abs.
Yeah.
And Jericho, he put the work in his time away.
Absolutely.
Very short time away, but he put the damn work in. And he also has got a little bit more spry. He was, he had some health issues, health scare he was dealing with. And coming back, pretty fantastic looking, man. And that goes to a lot of the internet trolls.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that I guess you can go one of two ways when people do that.
He tends to take it to heart.
Yeah, thank God he did. He looks
and do
fantastic.
something about it.
So he comes out and he's like, you're never going to be me. You're never going to be as good as me, Eddie. And that's what's wrong with you. You've got, he
said he had a fear of success.
Right.
Fear of winning.
People, that happens to people, though.
It does.
And, I love the fact.
Self-sabotage.
I love the fact Eddie was so good here. He put that doubt in his mind, and Eddie's kind of like, ha, 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 but you've seen it in his eyes. Mm-hmm. And it was so well done, man.
It really was.
And there's something about Eddie Kingston's connection to the people.
Oh,
he's one of those guys. Thunder Rose is one of those people. Mm-hmm. The connection to the people is just so genuine.
It really is.
And it's instantly like, chanting Eddie. As soon as he comes through, man, it is.
It's because he's so real.
He is
and
real.
so crass.
He is so real.
Ever since the Redeem D's nuts, I think.
It's a great way to put it, though,
You just
because
don't get better than that.
we love Jericho.
Yeah.
But Jericho is the epitome of sports entertainment. And he's got that physicality to him. It's almost short selling to say that, but I'm saying you entertain me. You know what I mean?
He can do it all, and he probably
has. But it's almost a bad word because you feel like you're getting this this real deal with Eddie. So I love the conflict because it is.
Oh yeah,
man, it is oil and water.
Because we have like the underdog who can never win the big one, and then we have the big one.
Dude,
doesn't get much bigger.
He the first champ.
Yeah,
I mean the
champion.
The first face, really. I mean, if you name wise, you had to have that big marquee name starting his company.
Oh yeah,
he was
absolutely
the marquee name. So
and Eddie's gonna beat him.
Yeah, Eddie's. I'm with you too. We agree so far on all these matches. Eddie's up.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs it. He definitely needs it.
Great match.
Great. So next we need to talk about Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. And this match is just, it's insane to think about this match happening at all. And we were supposed to have this match in the AEW title eliminator tournament.
Give me a second. Bryan Danielson.
Sorry. I forget.
Okay, I'm good.
So, back in October, they were supposed to have a match in the title tournament for the number one contender. And then Moxley took a bit of a hiatus.
Yes. Had to get himself right.
Yes. He went to work on himself personally and came back in January. And the very next night on Rampage, he faced Ethan Page. And after that match, Bryan Danielson was there.
Yeah.
As he walked out and just kind of looked at him. And we were like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, we had this real big, like, I don't know, in my head music played. I don't know if everybody else heard that or not.
It was like the all over again.
It was pretty strange. But I don't know, man. It instantly you were just like, oh.
Yes. And then we had a bit of a wait. And then we had Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta, which really wasn't supposed to happen. It was a filler match.
Yeah.
But Bryan Danielson came out after that match and laid down his challenge, his ideas.
If the original match had have happened there, it would have been somebody that Bryan Danielson was in wrestling school with, which would have been really cool just to throw that Shawn Michaels Academy there.
Yes, it would have.
Because Spanky and Bryan Danielson would have been almost as cool as seeing Bryan Danielson and Chris Daniels.
Yeah.
Which was, so much history there that I don't think a lot of fans really realized what they were seeing.
Yeah, probably not.
By the way, right in the middle of this whole thing, Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor.
He did that.
I totally can't wait for a proper news show from us because there's going to be so much talk. Go ahead.
Jeez. Okay, so he said he wanted to team up with Moxley to train the young talent in AEW and leave behind this legacy between the two of them. And it took Mox a couple of weeks, and finally he answered and said, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but before I can fight with someone, I need to bleed with them.
Yes.
And then we got Bryan Danielson's answer, and he said, you want to bleed together? You got it. But don't be surprised if you're the only one bleeding.
Right.
And we have a match at Revolution that's going to be... Well,
I mean, as you see it on Dynamite,
ouch.
Moxley again comes out, and we get to that point now where Mox was... And Daniels took the heel way out. He's like, you want to do it? You want to do it right now? Let's see right now. And he took the, oh yeah, and just kind of snakes out of the ring, which I love. And the reason I brought up the Ring of Honor deal is because obviously we got to start building to the brand of Ring of Honor.
Oh, of course.
Not only did he buy the whole entire library, hello, Era of Honor begins, Bryan Danielson main event, all the way through. So much there. But what are we known for there? We're known for pure wrestling. We're known for everything that Danielson is saying needs to happen in pro wrestling. Everything he's been dropping little hints along the way on little interviews he does here and there. I see you, Bryan Danielson, whatever your name is, American Dragon, furry face. Listen to me. This could all be foreshadowing. It could all be foreshadowing for this thing happening. And I think that it's been safe foreshadowing on a few different things.
Right.
Because this group could totally play into a launch of Ring of Honor.
Oh, absolutely.
And, because he's all about the honor right now.
Right.
It could also play into something else I'm going to get into later. But as we're talking about this match, what you can expect is
just prepare yourself.
No matter who has a gimmick in this match, or any other match, they're not going to need a chair. As Danielson said, I don't need a chair to bleed. They're going to, it's going to be unadulterated chaos.
It's going to be violent.
It's going to be,
and there will be blood.
It's going to be amazing wrestling.
Oh, man.
Of the highest degree. They're going to want to steal the show. So many of the guys and girls on this event, from top to bottom, are show stealers. They are ones going out there, and AEW encourages them.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, guys, your
guys.
first match, drop kick and a punch, please. There's a way to build, throughout a night, and there's a way to communicate, hey, I'm going to be doing this. But with that said, you're still going to try to steal the show. You're still going to try to take it in all these, that ego, which is a good thing in wrestling. That ego is going to really be, these guys have an ego. Bryan Danielson isn't going to argue with you about him being the greatest ever.
No.
Be like, actually, I believe I am. I love that Professor Cigar, sweater vest wearing son of a bitch. You know what I mean?
I just don't know which way it goes. Does Brian win and Mox you're the better wrestler and they're friends? Does Mox win and beat Bryan Danielson?
Bryan Danielson wins.
Okay.
And Jon Moxley respects him.
And they join up?
Or
make a team?
Or Jon Moxley wins and Bryan Danielson begrudgingly respects him and acts like he respects him.
Oh.
You see a little glimmer in his eye, maybe. It's a very short-lived thing. And
he's secretly harboring bad feelings.
Or we get a bunch of Ring of Honor people in it.
Somebody interferes.
You just don't know. That's the whole problem.
This one I'm really unsure on.
Listen, I'm unsure on a few of them. This one maybe the most.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know where it's going to go.
Absolutely. It's hard to say.
I have no idea where the story's going to go, but I love it.
Me too. I love being kept guessing.
Totally invested.
I just admit, lets you just keep coming up with ideas.
For our picks, because he's my favorite wrestler, I'll say Bryan Danielson.
Oh, absolutely. He just can't pick the American Dragon. So, next, we have a dog collar match.
God.
Between CM Punk and MJF, which has been such a long time coming. This story spans all the way back to November, although I guess you could argue it goes all the way back to MJF's childhood at this point. But in November is when CM Punk came out to kind of interrupt his rant about how MJF should be the champion and all that, because no one in the locker room's on his level. And he comes out and MJF is like, Max, and then he just looks at him and doesn't shake his hand and walks away. And that's where this all started. And it went on to Thanksgiving Eve, where they had that epic promo that everyone talked about, where he called him less famous Miz. There was John Cena references. And that was in Chicago, which would end up being where they finally had their match. After all the stuff MJF made him go through, he had to face him in FTR, which saw the infamous tag team of Sting, Darby Allin, and CM Punk.
In face paint. Oh, that was awesome.
That was such a good match. But they won that match. And then he still had to face Wardlow and Shawn Spears to finally get his hands on MJF. And what does MJF do in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena when they fight? He beats him twice in his hometown, both times by cheating. And CM Punk didn't take too kindly to that. He threatened to beat him with a bat. Sting's bat, to be exact. If he didn't give him a rematch.
Yeah.
So he had to face FTR again to get the rematch with a tag partner of his choosing.
Yeah.
And that ended up to be amazing because it was Jon Moxley.
Mind-blowing.
It was so good.
It was the mega powers.
So finally, he gets to name the time, the place, and the stipulation for their rematch. And that's at Revolution, sometime around sunset. And he finally asked MJF to be his Valentine and join him in the ring for a dog collar match. And of course, everything just kind of spiraled out of control after that.
Yeah, we thought that was the build.
Yeah, we thought that we were happy there.
We were good with that.
And then everything went crazy.
I was good when they brought up Piper in Portland.
Yeah.
I was good when they brought up Piper Valentine. I was good when they paid homage to the past. I was good with the story that had been built so far. I was good with the trials and tribulations that Punk had went through and everything we had seen. I thought it's not overbuilt. It's stratosphere built.
Yeah.
So, then we have
it's all right.
the MJF promo that has been talked about till, it'll be in the annals of history forever as MJF comes out and cuts the most endearing, sad promo,
completely
heartfelt,
changed everything.
The Jew boy promo, it's just amazing promo, and
kind of explaining
CM Punk,
himself.
Yeah, this is the origin story of your main villain.
Oh, jeez, and it was heart-wrenching.
And CM Punk finds out that he created unintentionally the evil of MJF.
He did. And I think that messed with him for an entire week.
Because CM Punk left him. He left wrestling. He left everyone. And
then he finally
was MJF's
comes back.
Hero.
And he spurns him.
Yeah. And when he comes back, he didn't shake his hand.
Jeez, that had to... knowing what you know now and looking back at that, you got to feel a little bit for MJF.
I mean, and what's so funny about this is if you go back and search YouTube and you look for MJF documentary, okay, you'll find an indie documentary. The same guy who did the one with Joey Janela, it's just freaking amazing.
Right.
You'll find that documentary, and that documentary has MJF, and he's in his room, okay, in his house, and in his room you see that picture on his wall. Okay, this is before he was signed anywhere, man.
Yeah.
This is indie MJF. Like 2 year in, maybe.
Right.
MJF. And that picture's on his wall. How cool is that?
It's amazing because it's all true.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. And of course, this week on Dynamite, they had their face-to-face. And CM Punk is just trying to kind of figure all this out, I think. He's still confused. And MJF hugs him. And it's a little awkward. And you're thinking, well, now they have this dog collar match and maybe they're going to be okay, but no. Things are not okay.
Yeah, no, he hugged him, and at first he was like, I don't know. And I love the little smile. Mm-hmm. As soon as Punk like embraces him all the way, there's a little smile from MJF, and you're like, oh no.
And they're talking to each other.
Oh no.
And MJF thanks him, and then
it's on. And the color.
Oh God.
The juice.
We got a little preview.
The blood, baby. The blood that MJF got out of CM Punk. Holy balls. Listen. Man, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And then choking him with the chain.
He said that infamous line.
Hanging him and then using Punk's own line from one of the greatest promos in professional wrestling history.
Yes. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. But MJF said, I'm the devil.
And especially if you watch Ring of Honor and you want to brush up on your Ring of Honor and your Punk, look that up. You'll find
absolutely.
it. You'll find it easily.
So,
but
I mean, this match is going to be brutal, violent.
This match should be last.
I'm not sure who's going to win. I got to think CM Punk finally overcomes. But I'm just not sure. I just have no idea.
I just think it's so incredible. Like, I don't know where you put it. You know, the dog collar match at Starrcade 83 was not the main event, but man, you know, that's the only thing that really, for years, that was the only thing that when I watched that, I remember that match.
Right.
You know, that's the match from Starrcade 83.
Yeah, this is going to be the match of Revolution, I think.
I don't think how it wouldn't be.
Yeah, they'd have to royally mess it up for it not to be, but I don't see that happening at all.
No, me either. I mean, it's just...
Who's going to win? I have no idea.
There's so many ways to go with that because...
I know.
Okay, look. Obviously, this can't be the last match.
No.
This has almost got to build to another match, even though you would think it doesn't get much bigger than the dog collar match, but perhaps It does.
Maybe.
And so I don't know, man. I would say that, I mean, because Punk's already paid a price.
Oh, yeah. He lost in Chicago.
He lost twice. And I would like to think CM Punk wins this. And
me too. But also the idea of MJF finally winning one on his own with no help is kind of appealing.
It is. I don't know.
Don't know
I don't know
which way
it's going to go. They got me again. So,
all right.
What do you guys think?
Yes, please tell us.
Let us know.
Win all these matches.
Let us know.
We want to know what your mind comes up with about wrestling.
Because it's killing us.
So, moving on from that, we are going into our title matches now, which there are quite a few. TBS Championship match. Jade Cargill versus Ty Conte. Of course, Jade has her streak, her undefeated streak. She's 28-0. And she has done this open challenge since winning the TBS championship, and she's beaten 4 or 5 girls already to keep the title.
Cody of her.
Yes, she's a fighting champion, absolutely. And I thought it was interesting that her and Ty Conte have never been in the ring together, even in tag matches, except for a battle royal. That's the only time they've shared the ring.
That is interesting.
So I think it's going to be fun to see how they kind of work together.
Well, yeah, and I mean, as I mentioned on our proper show, Ty Conte's got a lot to make up because
absolutely.
I feel that the Britt Baker match did not get anywhere near the expectations for it.
No.
So now she's dropped down to the mid belt.
Yes.
And
which is very suited to her, I think.
I don't. Yeah, it's just.
But do you end the streak at 28-0 is the question. That's the big question.
I don't think so because, I mean, listen, Jade's going to win. But where does Ty Conte go from here?
I have no idea.
I mean, you've got to do something big now because it's the only good thing about it is there was not a gigantic build for this.
No, it's just an open challenge. But
right now, it's kind of just a match.
Yeah,
and the story's more the streak than Ty Conte.
It is.
I don't think anyone believes Ty Conte's going to win this. So
poor thing.
And that's unfortunate because she had all the momentum of a Greyhound bus going downhill without brakes.
Yes.
And
she had a match on the last pay-per-view.
All it takes is that one bad match. And it's not even that it was a bad match. It just, there was something that didn't click, man.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we haven't even seen Ty Conte in a match on television since the street fight in December. So it's hard to imagine her just coming in and just taking that title off of Jade right off the bat, I think.
Wow.
I don't think the streak ends here. Sorry, Ty. I love you, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Me too. Jade is amazing.
She is. She's a beast. She's that bitch. All right. We have a tag team match. It is a triple threat match between the champions, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus Red Dragon, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. And even though Jurassic Express are the champions, they're the least interesting part of this match because the story is completely centered around Red Dragon and the Young Bucks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
This goes back to the last pay-per-view when Hangman Page won the title, and Kenny Omega said, I'm leaving for a little while.
Right.
I got to get healed up. And Adam Cole said, I'll look after the Elite for you, even though that's not what Kenny wanted. And boy, howdy has he.
Yeah.
Inviting all his friends over.
Yeah.
Trying to get his old flame and his new flame to get along. So
it never works.
We have the Undisputed Era little faction, basically, which is Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, but we also have Old School Bullet Club with the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. And
the Undisputed Originals is what they're calling them. So
there's been this headbutting between the Young Bucks and Red Dragon because obviously they don't like each other. And that was escalated when Kyle O'Reilly intentionally tricked Matt Jackson in the tag team battle royal to throw him over and win the match.
Yeah, but I mean, what did he want to have happen? Did he want to play checkers? I mean,
they did come out and help them win the casino battle royal. So it's like they hate each other, but they're trying really hard to pretend
and
they
Adam
don't.
Cole's in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, he's trying so hard.
So it's like one of these. I don't know, man. It's just really it's a pick'em again.
It is.
It's hard to go against the Young Bucks on pay-per-view.
It is.
I
they
mean,
always
they're
deliver.
They're a big match,
But you never know with Red Dragon.
You don't. And I mean, I think that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they've had some really good matches, but they've just been not. I don't know. There's something about maybe they don't need the belts.
Maybe.
I think that might be the deal.
They're not the most interesting champions.
Well, no, they don't. and usually babyface teams not.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they need the belts. Whereas with the Bucks, they're the Bucks. They don't need the belts. But man, those belts are gimmicks because they're always like, yeah,
they're really good with the belt.
Look at me, I got the belt, and you want people to get that match for the tag titles against the Young Bucks.
This is the big name.
You know, so I don't know. I think
Jurassic Express might have come into it too soon.
I think the Bucks win the belts.
Oh yeah,
I do.
I mean, I'd be happy with that. I honestly don't know who's going to win. I think the most surprising thing would be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus keeping the titles. I think either Red Dragon or Young Bucks come out of this as the champions, and it's just going to make things even worse for Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Which is sad for him.
Well, I think Adam Cole interferes, and he is going to interfere one way or the other.
He's going to pick a side?
I believe that the side he picks is going to backfire on him, and it's going to be the other side that wins.
Oh, I see. So you think he's going to try to help Red Dragon?
And yes, I think he's going to try to.
But it's going to backfire.
Right, and it's going to look like him and the Bucks. And I
really want the Bucks and Hangman to finally...
Well, yeah, and we'll have Kenny back by the next pay-per-view.
Yes.
So I think this whole thing blows up, and
there's so many, definitely heading that direction.
There's so many things going on with doors and what have you. So
yes, definitely.
I mean, they've made the Bullet Club references. Adam Cole's made the Bullet Club. Once your Bullet Club for life.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened within the past month.
Yes, we saw Jay White.
So geez, dude, it's.
Oh, this match is going to be great, though, because it's a Young Bucks match on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It doesn't really matter who wins.
Exactly. 10 stars.
All right. Women's Championship match. Dr. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, which goes all the way back an entire year. Technically to February when they faced at Beach Break. Yes. And Britt Baker came out with the win. And that eventually led to their unsanctioned Lights Out match because they just could not get along.
One of the greatest matches, Pro Wrestling Illustrated's match of the year.
Absolutely. Of course, that match saw Britt Baker rise to so much acclaim, even though she didn't win. I mean, she...
Just like her promo.
Got all the fame.
I mean, just like all the stuff that, we have of her.
Yes. Following that match, she won the Women's Championship. She got all this stuff handed to her. She became the face of women's wrestling in AEW.
Yeah,
and what happened to Thunder Rosa?
Right.
Not a whole lot. But then she was so close to winning the TBS title tournament, and somebody came out and interfered. It was Mercedes Martinez. And it seemed like she was working for Jade because that helped Jade win the match. And we later found out that it was Britt Baker herself who hired Mercedes to take out Thunder Rosa.
Right.
And we were right back in it. We were like, oh, ho.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, howdy.
And Thunder, through that whole time, though, it's like, there again, I talk about not needing a belt. Thunder Rosa, the freaking 12 events I'm at live over the past year, when she comes out, man, when that music hits, everybody's into it. She's over, no matter if it's an indie show or AEW, and she's all over the place and helping women and saving kitties and
everything.
All this stuff, man. She's the real deal. She's legit. If you watch her vlog, she's just a really great person. So I think that she has all the momentum, and I don't think that anybody's any more lit than she is right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think momentum-wise that Thunder's right there where she needs to be. Honestly, I think that Britt is due for a reset.
Yeah, little.
So I think that the right thing to do would be to move that title.
Yeah, it's obvious that she's a little nervous.
Obviously.
Because she
Britt,
hired someone to take out Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, on Dynamite, Thunder Rosa pinned Britt Baker in that match, which I thought was crazy. And it made me I was instantly like, oh, well, Britt's going to win the match at the pay-per-view now, obviously. But it's not that obvious in AEW.
No, it's really not.
I could see Thunder Rosa winning the title.
Yeah.
But I could also see Britt keeping it. So
yeah, it's another one. It's up in the air.
I have no idea.
It just depends on which way it's going to go. Either way, I think we're in for a hell of a ride. They're going to have a lot to prove.
Yes, they are.
And
they need to show up for the women's division.
They need to get out of their own heads, too.
Yes.
Because they're already having, like, if Dynamite was not a good match.
It was a little shaky.
It was very shaky, and it was a lot of stumbling around. So I think that they're going to have this huge stage. They're surrounded by nothing but amazing matches.
They need to pull out another match like last year.
They just need to go out there and fight.
Come on, girls.
Don't get fancy. Go out there and do what you know.
Yes.
And do it well.
So finally, we come to the AEW World Championship match between Hangman, Adam Page, and Adam Cole, baby. We've already talked about Adam Cole's issues a little bit, but currently he is desperate to win the AEW World Championship and to win it from someone he actually knows quite well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, back in 2016, 2017, they were regular tag partners.
Yeah.
All up in there until, Kenny Omega,
right.
killed Adam Cole.
I mean, it was a slight death.
A slight death, yeah.
You got to watch what you drink.
But Adam Cole is back, and he wants that title. It just so happens to be around Adam Page's waist. So we have an Adam versus Adam situation in which Adam Cole is like, you have no friends, and Adam Page is like, you weren't here with your friends when they made this company. And, I mean, Adam Page is mad. He said he's going to put Adam Cole on the ground.
Oh, hold on one second. I'll be right back. You know it's all about Okay.
Okay.
I felt that I wasn't properly, representing the sexiest player in the game.
The person you want to win?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. You want Adam Cole to win the belt.
Baby.
Right now on Revolution.
Yes, and twice on Sunday. It is Sunday.
Oh, this match is going to be crazy because these two guys know each other so well. And there's so much going on behind the scenes with the Kenny Omega thing and with the Young Bucks, like kind of siding with Adam Page and not really siding with Adam Page. And I don't know what's going to happen in this match, but I have a feeling we're going to be blown away.
So I've got some things about this match.
Okay. What are your things?
This match is going to be hard to come after a dog collar chain match of epic proportions.
Uh-huh.
To come after a women's championship match that we've waited on for over a year.
Right.
To come after Bryan Danielson and John freaking Moxley.
It really is.
How are you going to do that? And you're going to follow a Young Bucks tag match? Look, as great as this match can be.
Right.
It's going to need something. So I think, what do, right? I have my theories on this one.
Okay.
A lot of stories end and start here. It's WrestleMania, basically.
Basically, yes.
And Tony Khan said as much about stories. A lot of stories will come out of Revolution. I think that we're going to have some Ring of Honor stuff play in.
Ooh.
I really do. Both guys with the Ring of Honor history.
Yeah.
We've had the Bullet Club stuff. We've had this. We've had that. We've got so much out there, including, there was a story from Fightful Select actually yesterday that was talking about a reality show being filmed and talk of reality shows for several stars in AEW, including one whose arrival is imminent.
Mm.
The imminent arrivals in pay-per-view kind of go hand in hand, right?
Right.
So not only that, but I'm starting to suspect Cody Rhodes.
You did say that on our last show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great theory that he shows back up to challenge for the title because he's under a new contract.
Well, I got a better theory.
Ooh, really?
Cody Rhodes is going to come out with an entire roster of Ring of Honor pro wrestlers.
Oh, dang.
And run Ring of Honor.
Ooh. That would be so cool.
Yeah, very cool. And Cody finally gets the book. How do you keep Cody Rhodes?
You could give him the book.
And what book would you give him? That book. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
why not?
I don't know, man. It could be a thing.
It really could.
And a Ring of Honor, if you're running Ring of Honor properly in the smaller places, you're at the Murphy Wreck or whatever.
Right.
Dude, that's right down his alley.
Oh, absolutely.
Mid-Atlantic and stuff. I mean, that's right down his alley of having these and having this crowd, and this crowd would love it.
Yes, I would love
You're not going to get any mixed reactions in there.
No,
you know? And
it's Ring of Honor.
So I'm just saying, they might not do the invasion thing right off the bat. They might not do. I don't know. But there's a lot of avenues you could go, and he hasn't showed up on WWE yet.
No, he hasn't shown up anywhere.
I'm going to keep that glimmer of hope, baby.
It's quiet. It's too
I'm going to
quiet.
keep that glimmer of hope that there's a road to the top. And I'm hoping. I've already got Ring of Honor, honey. I got that going on.
There's
and
so much.
Rumors of Japan collections, and if it's all Japan, if you bought all Japan Pro Wrestling, and you're going to show 90s women's all Japan, 80s women, you're going to show all Japan 80s. Just like those toy figures that are coming out. No, I can't take it. There's too much wrestling. There's too much amazing wrestling. AEW Revolution is the greatest card on paper that I've ever seen on pay-per-view. Ever. From the top to the bottom, it is the greatest. There has been nothing even close. You could say, go back to the very first thing they've ever had in AEW. There's some little ones. There's like, oh, there's 8 good matches. Then there's a couple I don't really want to see. Oh, look, there's Matt Hardy in a cooking contest. There's a mimosa match. Or what the hell ever. There's no mimosa here.
No.
All you got is fine crafted quality 100% American made awesomeness, baby. This is going to smoke them all. I can't wait. I hope you can't wait. It's just good to know how we got here. I've been John.
I'm Raja.
This is Blind Tag Wrestling News, and that's how we got here.